Greg, let's talk a little bit about what the big issues are facing the markets. We know that the Fed has raised interest rates by 75 basis points 4 times in a row. I think we're probably anticipating that it might be 50 basis points this time around. Is that what you think, first up?
I think we need to get a little bit more data before we wager a bet. The market certainly thinks it's 50 basis points. You know, we have a PCE and a CPI coming before they have to make that decision. And I think that will influence their decision a great deal. I wouldn't be surprised to see another 75 basis points, particularly if we don't see another retracement like we saw for November. And given some of the areas that led to that 7.7% for October, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something a bit higher than that. Airline fares have ticked up. That's notably volatile. Used car prices may have continued to trend down, but I wouldn't be surprised to have seen housing tick up a bit. So I'm not certain that we'll see a further abatement of inflationary pressures in the next 2 reports that we'll get, and therefore I'm not certain that we'll see 50 basis points.
Let me posit this, though. The market has run up significantly. You're looking at the run, maybe 15% of an increase as people are anticipating this pivot from the Fed. Whether or not you get 50 basis points, though, my suspicion is it's not really the Fed pivoting. They may be toning things down and turning down the heat a little to wait and see what happens with the inflationary number. But they're not pivoting. They're not turning and doing an about face and walking the other direction. They have been pretty clear that they are going to keep rates higher for longer than the market's been anticipating. I guess my question is, if that's the case, even if we get a 50 basis point hike the next time around, is the market gain warranted? Do you expect to see additional gains from here?
I don't think it is at this point. And what I think is happening is the market is placing a bet right now on 2023. And so we're looking at 2023, and right now earnings growth is anticipated by consensus to be about 6%. And that's down from the 10% earlier in the year. That's down from 8% from 2 months ago. But in my view, it's still meaningfully too high. And when you take a look at the fourth quarter, we've gone down from 10% expectation of earnings growth to negative 2%. And so the market is clearly betting, and consensus is clearly betting, that the Fed will, in fact, take the foot off the gas and that we won't see a significant slowdown in order to have 6% earnings growth next year. And I think that view is probably going to be proven wrong. And that will be particularly the case if the Fed is going to, in fact, get to a terminal rate of 5% by early next year. I think that will, in fact, cause a significant slowdown. And I think that we'll see that those estimates are too high, and we'll see significant downward revisions from here. And that, I think, will take air out of the sails of the market theory and the consensus theory that we're going to see a more dovish Fed in the coming months based on a significant abatement in inflation in the next couple of reports.
Greg, you just made me think that December 13th could be the mother of all volatility days. Let's say we go in, and you're shaking your head. That's what I'm supposed to think from listening to you, right?
Yeah.
Is that you go in with the market priced for 50, you get a lousy inflation report that morning, the whole fixed income complex and the whole equity complex has to readjust to a potential for 75 on that day. Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying. And I think we've seen that happen a couple of times, right? We saw that happen in August. We saw that happen in October, in mid-October, after we had a mild rally in the first week of October. And I think that this one is probably going to be more important and even more volatile because at the end of the day, we're looking at that 2023, and all of our estimates, all of our numbers will turn to that in the next month or two. And so I think that that's exactly right. I think that this is somewhat binary.